Hey, we didn't say you could have our spot.
Oh, how do you know?
Are you doing a live shot?
Yeah.
Hauser
will be here.
Hauser?
5 o'clock.
Oh, well, perfect. We're gonna come back and see Tom Hauser. Tom Hauser. Well,
Yeah, I told him all the stuff that was going on. He's like, yeah, it's fine. He's still doing the normal stuff.
is he aware of what happened this morning, and was he following all the bills, or just doing a bigger overview? We're gonna come back and see.
I'm just doing his live shot.
Okay.
He was here with another photographer, but I know he wasn't here this morning.
No, I didn't see him
I
there.
was there in the presser, and he wasn't even in the office yet.
Okay. All right, we'll come back. 5 o'clock live shot at the top, or what? How far in?
He's probably pretty close to the top, but I don't know where.
Well, he is the top, so we should put him at the top. Welcome back, Cedars. We are at the Minnesota State Capitol. A lot of stuff taking place there today. The governor and legislative leaders are negotiating on a special session. It hasn't been agreed to. That was the Channel 5 newscast. Tom Hauser is going to be right here at 5 o'clock doing a live cast. A little summary of what's going on so far. We might come back and just, we'll just kind of stream Hauser from a distance. So anyhow, one of the reasons we wanted to start here today is at 5 o'clock, on the 5 o'clock news, if you live local, you're going to see a press conference and a discussion about how we care for the mentally ill that are in our jails. And so a number of sheriffs from throughout the state and county attorneys from throughout the state came down to the Capitol to have their voices heard and to testify about some of the legislators right there from the committee. Senate committee just got over, the conference committee came down to testify about how difficult it is to care for the mentally ill in our jails. And the way the system works is that if a judge declares a person incompetent or a ward of the state, or the judge can order the sheriff's office to move them to a qualified mental health hospital. In Minnesota, there's Anoka and St. Peter that are two primaries.
Yep.
And the law, up until 2 years ago, the law stated they must move them within 48 hours. 48 hours, they move them to a mental health facility. Unfortunately, the state has never had enough beds for the mentally ill that are in our jails. And so we used to wait 30 days, 60 days. So a number of attorneys and clients and county attorneys were in the process. We were going to sue as well to force the Department of Administration to build more facilities 2 years ago. And the legislature came to us, I was involved in this discussion 2 years ago, May, and said, hey, we're going to put a pause. We're going to suspend the law about the 48-hour movement. So no longer do the hospitals, mental health hospitals, have to take them within 48 hours because there's no beds. But we're going to study the issue. We're going to study the issue, and we're going to bring back a proposal to get more beds in the future. Well, that sounded good, right?
Sounds good.
Kevin Magnuson, the county attorney from Washington County, described that today as a bait and switch. Get us to go along with the delay, telling us there would be a solution. This is an important issue. All of us know somebody's mentally ill, but folks, we need to care for the mentally ill. I mean, not just jettison to the side, and they don't belong in our jails. That's the bottom line.
Exactly.
So I'm driving from the Capitol to our jail, and I'm going to drive home a point there. But, so there is a bonding bill that was introduced to build extra bed space at the Anoka Hospital. And that bonding bill called for $55 million to build extra bed space at the Anoka State Hospital. Well, the bonding bill is caught up, may pass, may not. They don't even know for sure. And then there's a separate bill for operating costs, etc. That one might pass too. But the big issue right now is we need a bonding bill passed that includes money for the mentally ill to be housed. Otherwise, they're going to continue to be held in local jails. And that makes no sense. That's why all the sheriffs from across... Well, Pat, you saw the picture, right?
I did.
All the sheriffs from across the country came to the Capitol. So for right now, I'm going to pause right in front of our jail here because I got to tell you about what's in our jail. And we recently moved someone to the jail. We had a person that was designated by the judge to go to a state hospital. And it was a 37-month delay.
My goodness.
37-month delay. I don't know if you can even believe it. 37-month delay. So we have 5 people in there right now that have been told by the judge to go to a mental hospital, and they have been there between 14 and 18 months.
Totally unacceptable.
Yeah. So, and then we have another 40 that are pending their Rule 20 evaluations. Now, Pat, I don't know if you can see. You see those windows up there?
Yep.
Same window?
Yep.
You actually can't see out those windows. They're fogged.
Yeah, I can't see in them, that's for sure.
They're fogged for security purposes. So now you're keeping mentally ill people in a jail where they can't even see out the window. These down here you can. Well, these down here you can, but because this is our medical wing here.
Look at the third row up and you'll see the fogged windows.
Yeah, so we're keeping the mentally ill in well, in fact, Pat, I think if you were in there for 37 months, you would probably be mentally ill.
Oh, no doubt.
It's just
absolutely.
It's not good for them to be in a jail facility. So, anyhow, this bonding bill is important. If you are able to call your legislator and tell them we need the bonding bill for the mentally ill, that would be really huge. Or the governor's office. The governor hasn't really taken a lead in this. He's just sat back and let the legislature decide what to do. But if you're in Karen Housley's district, she's one of the leads on the bonding bill. You know, Karen Housley would be a great person to call. But any legislator, if you call your legislator, you know, you're gonna get some answers. But Sandy Pappas has been good on this issue. And Representative Franson, if you were in Representative Franson's district, and Representative Fooley as well. So, but call your legislator. They can call the bonding committee people. We definitely need housing for the mentally ill. Now, at 5 o'clock when you turn your mainstream TV on, or at 6 o'clock, you're going to see the story about this. And you're going to hear some quotes from me. I mean, this is about humanity. This is about humanity of our state and humanity of our state government. And everyone knows someone that has some relative or some that has a relative that's mentally unstable.
All of us do.
And, you know, we need to make sure that we're doing what we can to help them recover. So that was the purpose of our press conference. You saw the picture. You're going to see a lot on the mainstream news. If there's a decent story, I might even republish it. But in the meantime, folks, call the governor's office, Governor Tim Walz. Tell him we need additional capacity for our mentally ill and we need the bonding bill to pass. Or call your legislators here in Minnesota. If you live outstate, but you have a heart that's beats like the Grinch, do what you can.
Exactly.
Call the legislators. And we appreciate it because the Minnesota legislative session is not over yet because many committees didn't come to agreement, and we are still in special session territory. Now, having said that, I do want to call. We're going to call Mark Suki in a minute. Because Mark Suki told me to go ahead and go home last night at 1 o'clock. Nothing's going to happen.
Little did you know.
Mark Suki, go ahead and go home. So I did go home, 1:05. And at 1:39, things started to happen. We're going to call Mark Suki and have him tell us about the night last night. Because it was a rock and roll night. It had a chase from the state patrol that ended up, car ran into a house. Another chase with 6 kids getting arrested with guns in the car. We're going to tell you about that in a minute too. But yes, I know we should have been live on patrol. I'm sorry we weren't. Let's see if Mark Suki can tell us about last night's cat patrol.
Yes, sir.
Well, Sergeant Suki, you told me to go home at 1 o'clock, said nothing was going to happen, you know?
Did you get some rest?
Yeah, I did. So you're saying that's a benefit of it, right?
It worked. It worked for you, and it's better for everybody.
Yeah, here's the thing. The backseaters probably know this, but, I do ask Mark to either call or text me if something's going on. Right, Mark?
You do.
And you did text me, okay? But
I did.
But here's how the text is. 1:39, it says, we have a chase. Okay? Okay, we have a chase. State started it. Sean McManus took over. Okay? We discontinued when plane was overhead. And then it must have happened because you must have decided to tell me there was a chase. And then all of a sudden, what's the last line of the text?
It crashed.
Was it literally taking place while you were sending me the text?
No, I waited until after it was over.
Okay, so you didn't have a chase. You had a chase, but I get it. You weren't inviting me to the party.
Well, I had to make sure it was over before I called you. Yes.
All right. So tell us about that one. Did that car run into a house, or what happened?
Yep, there was a 30-year-old female that decided to run from the state patrol. Was driving pretty safe on the highway, about 70 miles an hour, but it left the highway, left Highway 52, and they tried for a pit, and they missed it, and had to discontinue. Sean McManus was coming up behind it, and he continued to follow it. And the nice thing nowadays is I can look on my phone, I can see what the state patrol plane is, or the helicopter.
Yep.
And I can see the Trooper 4 was really close. So we let it go. Trooper 4 got overhead, got eyes on, and we discontinued. When Sean turned off his lights to discontinue, he said that the car actually went faster. And
Wow.
Which I don't get it. It was going faster on the side streets than it went on 52.
Okay.
As it came around, I think it was on Annapolis, it struck the corner of a car, and it disabled the car, and it slowly rolled into a house. It hit the steps, the cement steps of a house, and that was the end of her chase. She was not hurt, well, not significantly hurt. She did get taken for an evaluation, but she was not terribly hurt, and she was arrested and taken care of by the state patrol after that. And the very next thing I said was, everybody turn your radios off, turn your computers off, and go home. It's after 2 o'clock in the morning now.
Yeah.
Except I left mine on. And I was almost home, and I could see a Chevy Tahoe driving down the street with no headlights on.
And you knew we were looking for one that was stolen from before, that had flock hit down on Maryland and Hazelwood or something, right?
Yep, it was stolen yesterday morning, and we did get the flock hit on it, so we knew it was out there. It also, I was pretty sure, was involved in a theft of construction people, where it got a gun and an iPad.
Yeah.
So that raises some concerns, of course, in the back of your head. But I was able to just follow the vehicle. I didn't turn my lights on. I just followed the vehicle in Roseville. We went down Dale Street, and we went west on County Road C. And again, I could see the plane was close, so I requested that.
I'm assuming you're also talking to your team that you told to go home, but you're actually probably had their radios on, right?
They actually had their radios on, and I called it out on our Ramsey Central, but they got me on our channel too. And Per Thermer did another U-turn. He does that a lot lately.
Yeah, and just for clarity, Billy Thermer's a new CAT member, not really new, but he lives north of the Twin Cities. Half the time he's on his way home, and he has to do a U-turn to come back to get here. So Deputy Winkle, of course, was always in the right place, and he gives it his best effort every time. Yep.
Was in the area, and we were coming toward him, and I said, "Stop, stick it. We won't even turn our lights on. We know this is a stolen.
Yep.
Stop it without turning our lights on." And he seen it coming over the hill. He pulled the sticks in front of it and got a couple tires. And Roseville was at Lexington and County Road C, and they sticked it also. We got all 4 tires on it.
Yeah, what time was this now? How sound asleep was I?
This is about 2:16 in the morning.
I should have been awake. What the hell?
Well, I had just texted you, but you must have went out fast because you didn't respond.
I had to get up early this morning.
We got all 4 tires flattened. The state patrol helicopter or plane got overhead, got eyes on it, and he suggested we light it up to get a good flee on it. So we turned the lights on. It was going 40. We turned the lights on. It went up to about 80 or 90. We shut our lights off in about 500 yards. So it was that quick. Lights on, lights off.
Yeah.
We stopped chasing it. And the plane followed it until it got to Fairview. And they stopped the car. They couldn't make the turn because they had no tires. And they came out of the car like a clown car. There were 6 of them that were jumping windows and jumping out of doors.
I looked at the list. They're ages 13 to 17. 6 of them in that car, ages 13 to 17.
17, 16, 2 14s, and 2 13s.
Yeah.
Roseville did an excellent job. They heard it. They were in the area. We had it all locked down. They had nowhere to go. The plane called out the one that was squirting the wrong direction. So we got 6 arrests, the stolen car, and we recovered 2 handguns. 2 guns.
And it's great teamwork though when you can catch all 6 running. That takes Roseville's help. One department can do that. So.
Well, that's part of the element of surprise. We just followed it until we were ready, and then we acted. And when you can do that, it makes everything a lot easier.
Yeah, nice work. Did you wait until Billy Thermer got back in town?
They were all in custody, but he did help transport.
Okay.
Way to go, Billy.
He did some paperwork for us too, so he was an essential part of that plan.
Yeah. All right, and then that's amazing work, Mark. Thank you very much, and it's always fun when you get a win. I'm going to call Joe Kill when we hang up because I know they went out and did some search warrants today on the homes of some of the kids, knowing that some of the other kids, there are more than 2 guns, knowing these kids had more guns in the past. So I think they found a couple more guns today. I'm going to let Joe Kill tell the story when I call him, but I think it all starts with actually apprehending the offender so you can take the guns off and reduce crime. So
it worked out. It worked out excellent, and that was my first real action since I've been back, and I was getting discouraged because I haven't found anything, but luckily they found me last night.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that you're on your way home and you run into stuff. It's amazing how that does happen over the course of a career. I remember when we were looking for a rapist, Joe Turry, who actually ended up being the guy that killed Helen Edwards at over at the Perkins there in West St. Paul and buried her body in Carlos Avery. But he had done another crime earlier of a rape of a woman. We searched for him all day long. We got tired. We said we're going to pull into the Holiday at Snelling and Edmond and get a refreshment.
Guess what?
He's sitting on a motorcycle next to us across the pump.
Some people just get bad luck. It just doesn't work.
Oh, funny.
And I think you carry a rabbit's foot in your pocket all the time.
You have a rabbit's
You are
foot.
so good.
Yeah,
Well-
thanks for that work. Are you working tonight, or are you taking a little? I know you were on SWAT Tuesday. You've had a busy week.
It's been a busy week, but it goes by fast that way, and I like it that way.
One last thing, a little a public service message to the illegal street racers. Do not come to Harriet Island and Raspberry Island to do criminal activity, because Sergeant Suki, and I'll be with him, will be there to greet you.
If I need more help, I can get it from patrol. We can get all the help we need, and park closes at 11.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, even before it closes, there were people calling the other night saying they almost got run over by the street racers on water. 5 people called and said they had to worry about their safety. So
Jeez.
A lady walking her dog almost got hit, and they're talking about the engines revving in the parking lot, squealing tires. It's not fair to them who have to live with that.
yeah, you're right. Hey, Mark, thanks. Great work. Appreciate it. I'll see you later tonight. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye. Well, that was a fun update, huh?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah. That was some great work. Thank you, Roseville, for helping corral those guys. It was good police work. Now, you arrested those 6, 2 guns. Through investigative means, they determined that there are more guns out there. So the CAT gun unit went out and did a search warrant today. I don't know if there was more than one, but I'm going to call Joe Kill here, and he's going to fill you in on the next step of the investigation, doing the search warrants. And 6 kids are in custody at the juvenile detention center. Obviously, some will be held longer or shorter, but this is what good police work is: follow up. If you just follow up on stuff, you make a difference. Gun Sergeant Joe Kill.
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Joe Kill, we got the lowdown from Sergeant Suki on the arrest of these 6 desperados, and I don't use that term in any particular cultural offense because they are actually not Hispanic descent. But give us the lowdown on what you found out, what you did this afternoon.
Well, after Sergeant Suki made that traffic stop and 6 arrests, we had a couple open cases on a couple of the juveniles that were in there. Sarah Nagloski actually did a great job getting some intel. We followed up with one of the kids' houses with a search warrant today. Bebe, our team, and Kat all went and searched the house. Found
Baby being our dog sniffing dog, right?
Correct.
That worked with
Correct.
Ashley.
Yep.
Yep.
Sniffed out 2 ghost guns, and we also got 2 ghost guns. We got 6 manufactured lowers that were all screen printed, or
The lower part of the gun.
the lower part of the guns.
Did I hear you got a 3D printer there too, or not?
Yes, we did. We got a 3D printer there as well.
Now that's scary, folks, when the kids got 3D printers and they're printing the ghost guns themselves. That's a whole
Especially when they're
other-
13, 14 years old.
13,
Printing
14.
guns.
That's a whole another level of scary. And if you're the mainstream media and you're listening to this, call us tomorrow, where we can update you on what we found in these search warrants, because this is a big warning sign. A bell should go off in everybody's mind when 13, 14-year-olds are 3D printing guns.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's
Terrifying.
quite scary.
Quite scary. Well, what else you got to tell us there, Joe Kill? Give us any other good updates?
We're just plugging away, search warrants, and going after everybody that is not allowed to have a gun or possessing a gun.
What is Stella's birthday?
January 11th.
So is she 2 or 3 now?
2.5.
2.5. 2.5. So his little daughter Stella.
Little Stella.
I had the pleasure of going down to Disney World with Joe and Stella. That was fun,
Our
right?
first experience at Disney
And she
with
was
the sheriff.
She was a little bit scared of the sheriff until when?
Until the parade.
Well, the parade was good too, but don't forget buying the suckers.
That's right.
Buying the suckers.
The suckers are your best friends.
My suckers, the best. I had a whole bag of suckers, any color you want, Stella. Now, normally, for my relatives, I get a bottle of Mountain Dew and I take a straw and I put just enough in the straw to get the child addicted to Mountain Dew.
That's how he got me on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. It was a good trip.
Yes.
Good trip.
Absolutely.
Thank you for all your work. Thank your team, and we'll reconvene tomorrow morning. Figure out where we're going next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Figure out where we're going next.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
So bye.
Bye. Bye.
So, anyhow, in a couple minutes, if you're local, the 5 o'clock news is coming on, and you should turn it on because there is this legislative stuff we're working on. I'm sure will be a part of the news. All the cameras were at our press conference this morning. We won't feel bad. You can leave us on in the background, if you see something going on.
Absolutely.
What a beautiful night, huh?
Yeah, it is.
79 degrees out, gorgeous. Out here we're headed toward Como Park, the old territorial trail out to Como. The old wagon wheels used to ride on this very trail right out here to Lake Como.
That's cool.
Coming out to Lake Como was like going to the suburbs. So, Pat, your daughter-in-law is doing okay?
Yeah, she's steadily improving.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
3-4-year-old walking around backyard,
I better turn some radios on. I can't turn them down while we're on the phone.
Okay. Great.
There is a lot of, what's that? There is a lot of algae going on in that lake.
Yeah, there is. I don't know if it's algae.
I think it is.
Is it? Yeah, I don't know if it's algae or milfoil or weeds.
Oh, yeah.
Weeds. Well, algae is technically, blue algae is actually dangerous. It carries with it something. If you get it into your sinus, you can start eating your brain.
And what's that stuff on the west coast of Florida? The red something? Red tide?
There is a red tide, yeah. Red tide. And that's in Florida, too. They have red tide.
That's what I meant in Florida.
Okay, yeah, the red tide. I think it has something to do with sewage. A field trip to the Como?
Nice, nice.
Yeah. Was that the feds?
That's I'm sorry, but that's a really ugly vehicle.
That's unique.
That definitely unique.
Unique. Okay, let me ask you this. On this right side of the road here, there's little white arrows. You see them?
White arrow? Oh, yeah.
What do you think they're for?
That's a good question.
We're at Como here. Como Avenue in Lexington. On the right side is a series of white arrows. And sadly, they don't seem to be pointed in the same direction.
No, they're going in all different directions. I have no idea what that's
maybe
about.
when we get closer, they won't look like all different directions. Maybe it's possible, but what do they say on them? Oh, that's very confusing. There's nothing on those white arrows. Right?
Nope.
Okay, whoever's in charge of the white arrows, you've done a good job of confusing us.
We need to know.
White arrows. Here's some more. You think they're trying to get people to a party?
I think they're trying to get them to go to a different place than the party because they have them going all different directions.
I don't know. It's very confusing.
That's pretty bizarre.
There's a big party down here, though. Something going on down there. A lot of rentals. Oh, here's a not white arrow. It's a graduation arrow. See that one there?
Yes.
These have these have graduation. What's that say on there?
Congratulations, grad.
Grad. Okay. Okay, what do you think? A lot of graduation parties. And over here in St. Paul, we don't have shootouts at them either, like Minneapolis. Just kidding. Well, looks like fun, huh? Looks like a nice graduation party.
Well, somebody made a good point.
What are
Somebody
those
may be
colors?
messing with the arrows.
What are these colors for, though? Inquiring minds want to know. Grads of 2025, so there's more than just one.
Oh, might be on this sign here.
Scholars. Oh,
Seniors. St. Paul. I can't read the rest of the top line.
it's like a Roman Trojan here. We're going to ask this lady. St. Paul. Okay. Which school are the graduates from?
I'm not sure. They're just friends of mine.
Okay.
It's the Chung family and a couple other families. It's
Okay.
like three families.
Three families?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry.
I'm not sure where they go to school.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to find out from this guy. Hey, how's it going? Hey, what school? Are you here for the party?
No.
Okay. Have a good one.
We're just destined not to find out, I guess.
Well, you can help us backseaters. The logo, the mascot had like a Trojan helmet with those feathers going in the middle. Did you see that?
Yeah.
You gonna ask AI?
I think there's going to be quite a few. When we find out what it is, we're going to say, "Oh yeah, of course,"
Yeah.
because
Well,
I've seen that Trojan
Yeah.
logo many
I
times.
don't think it's Harding.
This will be Juve.
'Cause they're the Knights. There's some barbecue going
Tartan?
on here.
Is it Tartan?
The Titans?
No,
Yeah, but the Titans.
actually waiting at Jackson
The
14.
Titans.
They're going to be
Those are
in
Titans?
a wait for F-150.
What do we got here?
17.
Calvary Chapel.
534, I'll take that. You can catch one.
Jerome says it's Hungry Grosvenor says it's Harding.
Well, it could be Harding, but they definitely have changed their color from their traditional burgundy. Jerome would know, though.
Kayla says Simley.
Okay, well, you know what? It might be Simley. What's the
What's
Simley mascot?
What's their mascot, Kayla?
What's 370?
I'm smelling the hamburgers.
370.
This is Como Park, folks. The rides are going. Everybody's barbecuing with a beautiful day. Come on out. It's one of the few free parks left in the country. Now, if you go on the rides, you got to pay for the rides, but you can see the animals for free.
We got another vote for Harding.
Okay. Looks like they're putting some of those rides together. These are the wolf pens here. I don't know if the wolves are in there right now, but no, I don't see them.
Kiana says it's
That one that said Tony Road Echo and Polar, that's going to be the same day.
You can walk through and see these animals. It's early, but they're getting the whole zoo ready. Got giraffes here.
this is really a cool zoo, folks.
Tigers.
If you've never been here, highly recommend you coming. If you have, come again. It's great.
And they got rides for the kids. That's a great combination. A little bit of zoo, a little bit of rides. You know, this used to be called the Mighty Mouse. You remember that when you were little? I don't know what it is now, but they're fixing it up. And now it looks like it's actually in good shape. It used to be red, the Mighty Mouse, but I always worried that dang car was going to fly off the track. Some of you Como people, you older ones like me, remember coming here and riding on the Mighty Mouse. And some parents, truth be known, in fact, some of you might have had parents that did this to you. They would bring their kids here and tell them it was the state fair. So they didn't have to fight all the traffic.
That's funny.
That wasn't my parents, but I'm just saying I did know there were parents. Oh, we're taking our kids to Como. Oh, it's the state fair. So Como has the wolf dens here. There are tigers in there. Not in the wolf den. There are. I wonder if the bears are back there still. Remember the bears back then?
I'm not sure.
I don't know either. The bears used to. People used to throw bears. People would come over here with buckets of apples and throw apples to the bears. They'd catch them in their mouth.
Remember our friend Todd Ellsworth used to be with the Downtowner Car Wash?
Oh yeah.
Moved to Florida.
Yeah.
That Mad Mouse was his first job.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that was good memories. My favorite ride right here for all time, the Tilt-A-Whirl, because it's safe, right?
Yep.
Tilt-A-Whirl. So here in the small space you have a place to picnic, barbecue, and you also have some of the greatest gardening and scenery to take a look at as well. So the Conservatory is worth a trip by itself, but you get to do it all.
Yeah, the Conservatory is breathtaking. It really is.
Here's the Conservatory. Right here. Actually, my wife and I, wedding pictures were taken right out here. Across the street over there by the Conservatory. And of course the gate's ajar down there.
That's where Trish and I got married.
Yeah. And you can tell it's not very busy right now, so good time to come out to Como. They do have a donation. It's free, but they got a donation bucket if you want to donate some money. So let's keep it.
Kevin said it was. Does that sound right? The Mad Mouse?
Could have been the Mad Mouse. Did I yeah. What, instead of what?
I don't know.
But over there is the carousel in that building. It's closed right now.
Oh, that's right.
The carousel was downtown. Well, it was at the State Fair.
Yep.
Then they moved it to Town Square.
Town Square.
And then they saved it and moved it out here. So... But weekdays, I can tell this is a perfect time to come out here. Because you can tell it's not really crowded yet.
Mm-hmm.
Spent a lot of time on patrol out here on midnights. Mike Beeson and I. 113. I always wanted to be 115, you know. But 113 was okay. 115 was down near Rice Street on Western, and 113 was really Lex to Victoria.
I always wanted to be 135 and ended up getting it.
Yeah. Sometimes those smart sergeants didn't give you what you wanted because they were trying to teach you just to...
Oh, I got taught for a while before I got it.
The grass is mowed out here. Congratulations.
You can smell that it's freshly mowed. Mowed.
The Winter Carnival Medallion's been out here a few times. Fun. There's the Conservatory from the other side. Got some nice outdoor gardens too. Prom pictures, or what do you think? What do we got going?
I would prom or graduation.
Yeah.
What school is that from? Elk River?
Congratulations.
What
school?
Eastridge? Very good, very good.
Way to go.
Was the ceremony today then, or what? It's on Monday. Oh, it is. Okay. It's exciting.
Great spot for photos. Take care.
See you guys. Oh, the other thing. See that seal there? What's that remind you of?
Free Willy.
Oh, for crying out loud. Sparky the Seal.
Oh, okay.
Sparky the Seal.
I was looking
Free
at the
Willy.
orca on
Free
it.
Willy is on there. You're right. To give you credit, there is a whale on that seal. But yeah, we used to all go see Sparky the Seal over there. And they have a polar bear swimming area too. See the polar bear. Well, there you have it. That's Como Park. Get out and see Como Park. Recall and rekindle all those youthful memories you had of being out here. And especially early in the year, it's not very crowded. Once school is officially over, which is really next week, right?
I think summer already done.
Yeah, once it's officially over, this place will get crowded.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you just joined us, please go back and listen to the beginning because I was working on a very important issue, the proper care and humanity for the mentally ill. They shouldn't be in our jails. We need more mental health beds throughout the state. And please call your legislators to have them approve a bonding bill to build additional beds at the Anoka State Hospital.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, the mentally ill are going to continue to be in our jails. It's not a good long-term solution for them or us.
Very true.
So as we head back to the station, we'll go down Lexington here to Bob and Pat's original haunt down there at Lexington University. We'll reimagine the White Castle on the northeast corner.
Right.
And what was the bar on the northwest?
Oh, Denny's Loft.
Well, that too, but there's the bar that the murder was at. Ella's.
Arnella's.
Arnella's, yeah, Arnella's. Yep. Oh, and the prom ballroom used to be up here too. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Prom ballroom. Actually, go back far enough. There was a stadium here, the Saints Theater, Saints Stadium. Before the current Saints, there was a baseball stadium up here. Well, there's one on Energy Park Drive too, but there was actually a long-term one right down on University Avenue.
Oh, wow.
Way back.
Okay. Georgia Mechanic Arts High School is no more. But it's funny you mentioned that. Mechanic Arts graduates, a lot of them became St. Paul cops.
Amen. Those in Cretan. Cretan grads too.
Yes, check the domestic going on.
Gabe's?
Oh, yeah. They got quite a patio now.
Gabe's by the park. Used to be Gabe's by the park.
Now, is Giggles still connected to
I
that?
think so. Yeah, I think so.
My dad actually did a sports talk show out of there.
No.
Radio show. Yep.
That's cool.
I think he was with K-Fan then.
Okay.
Joey, can you scratch 269 that my phone?
That is interesting.
No problem, 1719.
Those of you that remember Lexington Parkway from the old days, before there was a divider here back in the 80s, the city cut down. There used to be giant oak trees on the side of Lexington. There was no divider.
And it was beautiful. It was like a canopy over the whole road.
Yeah, it was. Well, but here now, 40 years later, I got to admit these little tiny trees they planted actually did grow up. Right?
They did.
But
Yeah,
there was no divider here. There was the boulevards were tighter and huge giant trees arched over here. It was the most beautiful street in town, next to Summit. But they wanted to do some different things. They put a divider in. They chopped the trees and planted smaller trees. I guess that's what planners do, right?
Right.
Hugo Massans was the council member for Ward 5. He tried to stop it from happening. He's cutting those trees down. But it's proof that time does allow recovery. I don't think that qualifies as a crosswalk for walking. I don't think you should do that on a bike with your children.
Not that fast.
Everybody did stop behind us. I gotta give them credit for that. But
8296 Eagle.
that's a walker crosswalk.
Stock 28, please gate for a theft of paperwork.
Are they waving?
I'm not sure if they were waving to me or the people on the sidewalk.
1722.
There was a bar on the southeast corner too for a while. The Something Wreck, maybe?
Well, no, you're starting to pull my memory out, yeah. Yes, there was.
And there was a bar on the northwest corner of Selby in Lexington.
Yeah.
And there was a bar in what is now the Blair House now called the Oak Room.
You know, Pat, you're distinguishing yourself as the bar expert.
Well, I somewhat am.
You can send me the theft on Queensgate to keep 6 Tango clear.
Yeah, it was Popeyes used the White Castle over here on the northeast corner in the old days before White Castle moved.
Lawrence Rec.
Lawrence
Thanks,
Rec.
Barb.
Yeah. Thank you. And let's don't forget Chatsworth and Uni.
Oh yeah.
What is it now?
Nothing.
Oh, no, but what is that there? Sheer, oh yeah, it's empty, gone. What's that? Sheer pleasure.
But Johnny Babies used to be on the
Johnny
northwest
Baby.
corner.
And then Burgess before
Burgess
that.
before that.
Burgess before that.
And coming up here down by Laddiff Brothers was Cheap Charlie, or was it Cheap Charlie's?
Oh yeah, Cheap Charlie's. Spent a little time in there.
Tipsy Tiger too.
Tipsy Tiger too. Yep, next door to each other. Tipsy Tiger, Cheap Charlie's. Tipsy Tiger was where most of our street prostitutes worked out of, though. Remember that?
Yep. I've heard lots of good about this homey restaurant.
Well, and we love the best steakhouse, right?
Of course.
And they do a great job of keeping their building up. That's what I like about them. They're always painting their place.
Yep.
And it's a mixture of other. I mean, obviously, when we first started, there were no Asian restaurants here.
No.
But now we have food from all over the world here on University Avenue.
We do.
Food from all over the world.
The first Asian restaurant I remember was Caravel at Avon and University.
Oh yeah, Danny Carlson used to go there a lot.
Oh, I loved that place.
That was great. That was Vietnamese.
Yep.
The Vietnamese got here a little before the Hmong period.
Non-bistro, that's excellent.
The Badger.
The Badger Bar.
Well, all quiet on the Western Front here, folks. Beautiful night to be out. Go out and cook some barbecue.
Olsen Brothers Liquors.
Well, and now, just for the old time's sake, the Faust and the Flick Theater and the Belmont surrounded this corner, right?
The notorious Faust.
Faust, nude dancing, but you had to watch him through a peephole. Not that we ever did that, but we got calls on. Well, I'll just leave it at that. We got calls on people that were here in these two corners on a regular basis. And the Belmont did have nude dancing, but the council member had required Glass be there.
Yep.
So, what was her name?
Rosie. Was it Rosie Butler?
I think it was Rosie Butler. Anyhow, Glass for the nude dancing. There. And that Belmont was torn down. Well, not torn down. It was turned into a police station.
Yes, it was.
A police station. Den of sin and iniquity turned into the police station.
Had the Clover Club on the left here, right at where Luscious Crab is.
Sponsor of our baseball team.
The infamous Barbecue King was right there at what is now the Islamic Center.
Yep, Barbecue King. A few dice games rolled up there. Arundel and Uni, one of the toughest corners in town.
Yep.
Not too many people there.
You know, it was short-lived, but it was really good. I think it might have been right there, the Frogtown Diner.
Yes. God, I know, but tell us, give us a little preach. Give us. Preach. Yeah, well, tell us who you're with. Well, I know that, but
I think we are too.
What's the organization?
We're the Church of God.
Church of God.
Yeah.
Are you street ambassador?
How long y'all been operating here in the city?
45 years.
And you don't know us?
Right.
How about you?
Oh, okay.
God
okay.
bless you. Well, we're just trying.
God bless you.
God bless. There's a lot of ways to give testimony. Not so fast, Pat.
He kind of left.
Us.
No, sure wouldn't. Yeah, this light rail changed the entire geography of University Avenue.
Well, we're going to take Pat back, drop him off. He's got plans. But in an hour, I'm going to pick up the Rev.
Oh, good.
I'm going to pick up the Rev, and
You know he likes getting out.
well, Rev's been doing a lot of good work.
Always.
We haven't given him a chance to talk about it. Thank people. I saw he posted thanking Daniel for some stuff, but he can do it firsthand. But Rev wasn't available till 6:30, folks. And you know why that is, don't you?
Why is that?
It's barbecue time.
Ah, and he is the pit master.
He is the pit master. He's probably cooking food for his whole family out there.
I'll bet. Maybe even for a few neighbors.
Uh-oh. Oh, sorry. I thought that was Rev texting me, but it wasn't. A lot of stuff going on at the apartment.
That's a beautiful night out, isn't it?
Well, I think you probably should spend it riding around with me instead of going whatever you're going. I gotta go find some barbecue.
Got yourself hungry now, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about it. All right, well, sign off there, Patrick J.
All right, folks. Have a good night, and I'll be back out with the sheriff tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. And tomorrow's going to be really something because we got a lot of notices about people trying to hang out in the city tomorrow night. Parties here, parties there, so
It'll be a good one. Be sure to tune in.
it will be a good one.
All right, folks. Take care.